Do you believe in curses? Then let's dive into the dark world of cursed objects and see if I can survive or fall victim just by mentioning them. Spoiler alert, if I suddenly stop posting videos, you'll know why. Cursed objects have been a part of human history for centuries. These allegedly haunted items come with stories of misfortune, tragedy, and even doom for those unlucky enough to own them. From ancient relics to modern-day trinkets, these objects have fascinated our imaginations and piqued our curiosity. But what is the truth behind these dark tales? Is it just superstition, or is there something more sinister at work? Throughout history, a common theme among these cursed objects is that they seem to bring devastating consequences to their owners. It's almost as if these objects have a mind of their own, like they've been watching horror movies and decided to try out some of the tricks themselves. Whether it's a family heirloom, a mysterious antique, or a seemingly harmless trinket, these objects have a way of ruining lives. Financial ruin, relationship breakdowns, and even untimely deaths have all been attributed to these cursed artifacts. In many cases, the misfortune surrounding these objects can be traced back to their dark history. Perhaps an object was created during a time of great strife or used in a sinister ritual. Maybe it was even owned by someone with shady intentions, infusing the object with their negative energy. Whatever the reason, one thing is certain: these objects seem to have a haunting presence that can't be ignored. But why would anyone want to own one of these things? It's like buying a ticket for a one-way trip on the Bad Luck Express. Yet despite the warnings and cautionary tales, many people have been drawn to the allure of cursed objects. They're often captivated by the object's beauty, rarity, or historical significance, ignoring the whispered warnings from those around them. And time again, these objects prove to be the downfall of those who dare to possess them. Let's start with the infamous Annabelle Doll. Legend has it that it's possessed by the spirit of a young girl, and its history is riddled with stories of strange occurrences and unexplained events. Annabelle was originally owned by a student nurse who received it as a gift. But soon things got weird, like, why is my doll staring at me from a different corner of the room? Kind of weird. Doors would slam shut, objects would move on their own, and people would report seeing the doll change positions. It got so bad that the doll was eventually locked away in a glass case, but even that didn't stop the terror it unleashed. And here's a fun fact. They say if you ever visit the doll, don't taunt it. Unless, of course, you enjoy having your life turned into a horror movie. Speaking of haunted dolls, I'm starting to wonder if my old childhood teddy bear was trying to tell me something when it mysteriously ended up in the backyard one night. Just saying. Next up, the Busby Stoop chair, a 17th century chair said to be haunted by the spirit of a murderer. According to legend, anyone who sits in the chair will die a sudden and untimely death. It's the ultimate you snooze, you lose situation. Only in this case, you lose a bit more than just the chair. Despite this warning, many people have been tempted to sit in the chair, and each time, tragedy has struck. Today, the chair is housed in a museum displayed as a cautionary tale about the dangers of messing with the supernatural. Moral of the story, stick to beanbags. I mean, who really wants to sit in a 17th century wooden chair anyway? If it's not cursed, it's probably just uncomfortable. Up next, we have the Hope Diamond. This stunning gemstone is believed to bring misfortune and tragedy to its owners, dating back to the 17th century. From financial ruin to untimely deaths, the Hope Diamond seems to carry an unbreakable curse. Despite its dark history, the diamond remains one of the most coveted gems in the world. It's like a buyer beware warning in gemstone form, yet people can't resist its charm. Some are willing to risk everything for a bit of sparkle. Imagine wearing the Hope Diamond to a grand event. Just be careful not to trip on your way out. No one wants to add a twisted ankle to the diamond's list of victims. Of all the cursed objects I've come across, none sends shivers down my spine quite like the Dybbuk Box. This mysterious box is said to be haunted by a malevolent spirit known as a Dybbuk. It's believed to be the restless soul of a wicked person. The box was originally owned by a man who used it to trap the spirit, but after his death, the box was passed down through generations, bringing darkness and despair to each of its owners. The box is said to cause all sorts of chaos, from unexplained noises to physical attacks. Those who have dared to own it have reported some of the most terrifying encounters of their lives. It's the kind of box you'd want to re-gift if you really don't like the person. Now let's talk about the Myrtles Plantation mirror, an eerie piece that hangs in one of America's most haunted homes, the Myrtles Plantation in Louisiana. This mirror is believed to be haunted by the spirits of Sarah Woodruff and her children, who were poisoned by Chloe, their slave, in the 1800s. According to legend, the mirror was accidentally left uncovered after their deaths, trapping their spirits inside. Visitors to the plantation have reported seeing handprints that cannot be wiped away, ghostly figures lingering in the mirror's reflection, and even faces staring back at them when no one else is in the room. Some have claimed that the mirror is a portal to another realm, where the souls of the deceased are trapped and trying to communicate with the living. So if you ever visit Myrtles Plantation, make sure you don't spend too much time gazing into that mirror, unless you're ready for an uninvited guest to stare back. Mirrors can be tricky. They always reflect the truth, but in this case, they might reflect something else altogether, like a ghostly photobomb. For our next tale, we venture into the unsettling saga of the Anguished Man, a painting shrouded in mystery and fear. The artist behind this eerie piece remains unknown, but legend has it that he mixed his own blood into the paint. Passed down through generations, the painting eventually came into the possession of Sean Robinson, who experienced a series of terrifying events after bringing it into his home. From disembodied screams echoing through the house to shadowy figures lurking in the corners, the painting seemed to bring a malevolent presence with it. Robinson even set up cameras to capture the strange occurrences, and the footage shows doors slamming shut and objects moving on their own. Despite attempts to understand or rid himself of the painting, the haunting only intensified, leaving Robinson with no choice but to lock it away. Some believe the spirit of the tormented artist is trapped within the canvas, while others think the painting serves as a portal to darker realms. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, the Anguished Man remains a chilling reminder of the power art can hold. So if you ever come across a painting that makes your skin crawl, it might be best to leave it where it is. Now let's take a quick detour into the chilling tale of The Hands Resist Him, often dubbed the world's most haunted painting. Created by artist Bill Stoneham in 1972, this eerie artwork features a young boy and a lifelike doll standing before a glass door, with disembodied hands pressing against the glass from the shadows behind. The painting first gained notoriety when it was put up for sale on eBay in 2000, accompanied by a spine-tingling description of its haunting effects. The sellers claimed that the figures in the painting would move at night, sometimes disappearing entirely from the canvas. They also reported that viewers experienced nausea, fainting spells, and an overwhelming sense of dread just by looking at it. Despite, or perhaps because of, its dark reputation, the painting sold for over $1,000. Today it resides in a private collection where its new owner reports no paranormal activity, but the legend lives on, fueling our fascination with the unknown. So, next time you're browsing through an art gallery or an online auction, remember, some masterpieces come with more than just a hefty price tag. They might just come with a curse. For our final tale, we delve into the unsettling saga of The Crying Boy, a series of paintings by Italian artist Giovanni Bragolin. Created in the 1950s, these portraits feature boys with tears streaming down their faces. Despite their melancholic subject, the paintings became incredibly popular, with countless reproductions adorning homes across Europe. But as the paintings proliferated, so did the stories of misfortune. It all began with a series of unexplained house fires in the 1980s. In each case, the homes were completely gutted, yet the Crying Boy paintings were found eerily untouched by the flames. Firefighters even began to refuse to have the paintings in their homes, believing them to be cursed. While skeptics argue that the painting's varnish may have made them more fire-resistant, the legend persists. To this day, many believe that owning a crying boy painting invites disaster. So if you ever come across one of these sorrowful portraits, think twice before bringing it into your home. Some art, it seems, carries more than just emotional weight. As we've seen, cursed objects come in all shapes and sizes, each with its own dark history and malevolent presence. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, one thing is certain. These objects have brought devastation to countless lives throughout history. So, the next time you're tempted to buy that creepy antique or rummage through a dusty old attic, remember the tales of these cursed objects and think twice before bringing them into your life. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the dark world of cursed objects here on Cryptic Curiosities. If you've got a story about a cursed object or a personal experience that made your hair stand on end, drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. And if you're feeling brave, suggest a topic for a future video. Who knows, it might just be the next one I create. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Stay curious and maybe avoid sitting in any suspicious chairs for a while.